Hello and welcome back to Blow Up the Team. Jeremy here today with Matt.
I want to die.
Why do you want to die?
I'm an RA back at school, and no one's listening to rules. It's great.
Are you surprised at all?
I wasn't expecting it to be this bad this fast, but the problem is 10 days worth of move-ins means that people doing nothing for 10 days means that they get restless.
Yeah, I mean, I could have told you that was going to happen. I was
Yeah.
also the equivalent of an RA down here, and I can tell you from experience, rules are exclusively never followed. They exist to be broken,
So
especially in
anyway, that
college.
that that's 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 my sob story of the week.
There's always one.
Oh, I guess on a bright side, my phone. Oh yeah, my phone started breaking too, so I got a new phone.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
So yeah.
Yankees, I heard the Yankees. I heard good news about the Yankees,
Yankee.
despite the fact that
Oh my
everybody's
God.
hurt.
I mean, listen. The best part is Aaron Judge had a press conference and he said, I don't know why they put me on the IL. I'm ready to play. And he's like pissed off. And it's like, great, that's what you need. You piss off one of the star players.
We need to make sure he's healthy.
I know. And at the end of the day, when you're this far ahead and like you're getting the playoff spot, you kind of need to just rest your guys. And the fact is, the Yankees are deep. This isn't even a fucking baseball
It's
video. The
not a
Yankees
baseball
have
game. I tried to
the
make one
Yankees
comment.
have
Oh
Mike
my.
Talkman, Clint Frazier, and a million other guys who can fill in those roles and put in like major league quality at bats because the Yankees don't rank highly anymore amongst prospects because the fact is Clint Frazier's not really much of a prospect anymore because he's been up in the league. People know he's a good hitter. So we have good hitters. We have good players, up and down into the minors. So that's
Okay.
why this team's gonna be fine. And so yeah,
Okay.
they're 16 and
Okay.
6, and the Boston
Okay. Okay.
6
Matt,
and
this is not a baseball
17.
video. This is not a baseball
I
video.
know it's not, but just think. Listen, fuck the Red Sox, okay?
Okay, you can say fuck the Red Sox, but like you want to do a baseball update, we can do a baseball
I
update.
was gonna finish in 5 seconds. I was gonna say
Cap,
fuck the Red
cap,
Sox, and
cap,
there was six.
cap,
No, no cap. I
cap.
was just gonna say the Red Sox are 6 and 17, and they're the worst team in the American League. It's all.
The stars are
And
clear. I'm just gonna put it out there now. Tigers making the playoff run this season. I'm calling it now. Anyways,
I mean that'd be fun as hell.
joining us today is a special guest. If he'd like to introduce himself.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Sai. I'm the resident basketball fan right here. So, yeah, I'm super excited for the video, Jeremy, Matt. Hopefully, I can provide some valuable feedback.
Yeah, after a really tumultuous conversation, which almost led to us ending the channel, where none has actually ever happened. Jeremy's like, "Yo, I got a friend who wants to come and, who knows a lot about basketball." I'm like, "Sure," because at the end of the day, anyone who watches this knows I don't watch a lot of basketball. I'm the baseball guy, so this makes my life a million times easier. I don't feel bad about not participating as much. So
Exactly.
Hey, man, you can learn a few things about basketball through this
no,
content.
yeah, I could follow some shit.
Hopefully.
Like I know I think I was pretty confident when talking about like the Nets and like the Lakers, but past that, I don't know if you
You're
watched
good.
the
You're
whole. I
good.
don't know if you watched the whole episode. At one point, Jeremy said, like, I don't remember what team it was. He goes in and says, "All right, Matt, you want to lead this one?" I said, "Sorry,
I
what?"
know. I didn't ask if you. I thought you were just like you might have surface level knowledge of every team, and you would just be able to be like, yeah, I mean they're okay, and then I could run with that. But you had nothing. I was like, damn, okay, I'll
Literally
just
off the
go.
top, like I don't remember what team it was, but I'm sitting there. I'm like, I know maybe one player, and I wasn't even sure. And I'm pretty sure I was wrong on what player I was thinking of. So like, this is like, yeah. Anyway,
All right.
this is enough
Anyways,
talking for me.
um, I think let's start off with a little bit of a. Oh, also by the way, we do not own any of these clips. The link to the original video will be down in the description below, so make sure to check that out. This is terrible quality. I may be turning this off in point 0.1 seconds. What is this?
Let me take a peek.
Do you see this? Okay, this is better now. It was like a frame a second. That was terrible in the beginning.
Yeah, no, I can see it was lagging initially.
All right, that's better.
All right.
I'm okay. I'm comfortable with this. Okay. Um. Anyways, well, since the Suns are appearing on my screen right now, let's talk about the Suns for a second. Um. I feel bad for them. I genuinely
I
do.
feel they played so much better than anyone than like we ever thought and what anyone ever thought. And they knew they had the playoff projection was 0.1% chance. The stars needed to align, and they actually came fairly close to aligning. Like
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
that was an insane run.
That's the thing. Like, if they're gonna when they're doing that play-in tournament, right? They just they're both the Grizzlies record and the Suns record tied. We both had the same record, and it just happened to be that the Grizzlies made it, even though they lost more. Like, they won less games than the Suns. So it's just very heartbreaking.
Okay,
and
this
Devin
is pissing
Booker
me off.
broke.
Hold on. We're gonna stare at something else for a second while I try to figure out why this is lagging.
It just makes me wonder, like, how much would have changed if they had like 'cause the NBA season's like I know the 8 games wasn't like a huge. It just makes me wonder like how things would have changed if it's or if any of this would have happened had the season not been cut off for so long.
Yeah, what I genuinely
Like-
wish is, and maybe this is a little bit much to ask, but I feel like with as good as these teams are playing, I wish that the NBA had thought outside the box a little bit and found a way to have these teams like play a separate, like have the Grizzlies and the Suns play a separate game, and whoever wins that one gets to play the Blazers. Like, yeah, it adds an extra game, but I mean, I feel like the Suns deserved a chance to play. Like, I really
got
feel like they
cheated
deserved
out.
a chance to play.
No,
Yes,
they
they
got
did. And
kicked out.
fuck the Grizzlies social media team. And they,
Can we see that?
yeah. I'll pull it up again. Like the Suns after they realized they didn't make the playoffs, despite pulling off the 8-0. Like they posted.
It's on the whose Twitter is it on?
It's on the Suns Twitter. Yeah, here we go.
This was funny.
Oh,
They just pull up.
How far
Well,
down do you want me to go?
office.
Like, where should I start?
right there. It's at the turntable. Oh wait, no, down. A little bit more. A little bit more. There.
Ah, there we go.
So click on the original post. Yeah, and it was a video. You could go back. You can click on the actual video. That's just a picture of the tweet. Up, right there. This is what they posted in response to the heartbreak. Like, how disrespectful is that? Every other team was like, damn, that was a really good run. And the Grizzlies, who limped into this shit, just came up and posted this. Like, congratulations on your participation trophy. Fuck you. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought the Suns could make it this far and then just get?
And then the Suns just hit him back with a broken heart emoji.
No, that was the original tweet.
Oh, okay.
But no, then they hit him back with how the turntables when they got beat by the Trailblazers.
Deserved.
No, absolutely deserved. So the
100%.
Suns get the last laugh, and everyone who has a heart got the last laugh.
Also, next time, spend the marketing dollar elsewhere. I respect that. Genuinely respect that.
That's good. This is gonna be like the dumbest mini rivalry, and that's gonna probably fade, but still.
Yeah, I mean,
the dumbest Twitter, the greatest Twitter beef of the last couple days.
I do genuinely wish that the NBA had just found a way to let these teams play, man. Like,
It just.
the Suns were playing so well. Devin Booker was playing out of his mind. He
Okay,
deserved
well
a
then-
chance to play.
Question then: when the season starts again, what do you think is gonna be then? Is it gonna be like playing tournaments permanent, or just a one-time thing?
I think it's gonna just be a one-time thing, just because they didn't get a chance to play the whole season. So like you had the weird scenario where like the Trailblazers had a different number of total games played than the Grizzlies and the Suns did. So like you needed the play-in game. I think that in a perfect world where everybody gets to play 82 games, there's no need for the play-in. That's my opinion. Like I think
Yeah,
that
it
the
just
biggest
matters.
reason why they had it, is because it's hard to establish the tiebreakers when you don't have the same number of games
Oh,
played.
so if they need a tiebreaker game, yeah. Well, I mean, if a situation like that was to arise, which is super rare, I imagine they would, but like you said, in an 82 game season, they're probably not going to need it.
It's also
I
pretty
mean-
unprecedented for them to do that. Like,
How
I don't
many
think that
times-
there's any other time that they've done it. Sorry,
And,
I had to re-download this.
It would have been pretty
fun.
fun though.
Ah, dude, this is so much better.
This is significantly better already. But not to go trip back to baseball, but Bucky fucking Dent. That was a game 163, Yankees Red Sox. Yankees went on to win the World Series that year when the Red Sox blew. You
Okay,
get
it's
some
back
pretty
to
awesome
lagging.
sports moments like
What
this
is
shit,
the
so-
video just like have lag in it? I wonder. I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, just be patient, just to see.
It could be also the downloader itself.
I
What
used a
the
different
hell?
downloader. Whatever. I'll fix it for next time. I don't have the patience to sit here and do this. Anyways,
Okay.
Yeah, feel bad for the Suns. They deserve better. The Nets kind of surprised everybody, coming out and being 5-3 despite the
Yeah, I
team that
thought they
they
were
had.
gonna limp. I thought they were gonna get it because the fact that even if the Wizards and what other team, the Magic played well, like I really didn't think that it was gonna matter. And sure enough, it didn't matter if they played well because the Nets actually put up really, solid overall games. Like they didn't look. There was one bad game I remember, but like they didn't look even in like the close game. Like even in their losses, they didn't look like they were completely outmatched. They went 5-3. Like they looked really good.
Man, they won against the Clippers.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
can you believe that? Like, that's just insane. And they won against the Lakers too. So,
I do want to
like,
say, I think the one thing that we underestimated, sorry to cut you off, the one thing I think
yeah,
that we
go
did
ahead.
underestimate was how little that some of the better teams were going to try. Like, it didn't feel like, other than the first game when the Clippers and the Lakers played, it didn't really feel like the Clippers or the Lakers or the Bucks even really cared if they won. Like, it was more about, like, getting back into shape and stuff more than it felt like they were really trying to win those games.
Yeah, but for a lot of these guys, like their seed was basically set, or like their playoff chances were set.
Well, yeah, that's the other
So
thing. I think that they didn't really care about seeding because it doesn't really matter anymore. There's no home court
yeah,
advantage. There's no like roaring fans getting to like home cooked meal or anything like that. Everybody's on the same playing field. So it's like, why
yeah,
why would we risk injuring our players to fight for that number 1 seed or fight for that number 2 seed when it realistically doesn't matter?
True. That is very true. I mean,
And
it's
I'm
just a
I'm
matter
interested
of
to see
like
how that's
which
going to affect
team.
the series as well. Like now that there is no home court advantage at all, like how is that going to impact like, will the lower seeds have a better chance of winning, not having to go on the road for 4 games?
100%, 100%. Because they have more time to practice. They're just staying in one place the whole entire time, right? So like they're not gonna get as prone to injuries as what we would see if teams go on the road and constantly. There's just constant stress with that. But now, while you're here, you don't really have that fans like that stress impressing the fans. You're there just to focus on the game, and it's just a really great way for the teams that are in the lower seeds to just perform well. And like you said,
and, and I think like also is that with them with these teams, like it'll really show just how much fans make an impact because like people like to argue that fans sometimes like it'll show just how much impact the fans make, and I think it'll make series that if in a normal season wouldn't be competitive at all, like look significantly more exciting. Like don't get me wrong, you definitely everyone would prefer fans there, and the atmosphere would be much better. But like just by pure quality of game, I think is going to go up because the fact that
oh
they
yeah,
like it's I'm kind of excited for that.
Yeah, I do also think the role
100%.
players should play better. Like the number one thing that you always see is that the role players tend to struggle on the road. But now that there is no on the road, you'll get more consistent play, I think, out of your bench depth, just kind of across the board, which it will lend exactly to what Matt is saying about like kind of just having better, closer games. Like when you have an entire team that's able to play at its highest level, I think that that's going to be huge.
Sure.
But
These highlights.
the other thing, just surface level injuries. Um, feel bad for the Sixers. Any Sixers fans out there? I'm sorry.
They lost their best shooter, man. Like
Oh my,
it's
here we
rough.
go. Here we go.
Bro,
Here we go. This
yeah.
kid. Oh my. Okay. No, but genuinely losing Ben Simmons is a big hurt. Did they officially rule him out for the rest of the bubble, no matter what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He got
that's what I thought.
surgery. He got
That,
surgery.
that's what I thought.
So he's done.
Also, we're recording this at the end of day one of playoffs, so Gordon Hayward left the game because of an ankle injury, as did Luka. He left and came back. It didn't really look like it bothered him the rest of the game. I feel bad. Porzingis did not deserve to get ejected, in my opinion. Both of those
Right.
technicals seem pretty soft to me. Like obviously the rule is 2 technicals and you're ejected, so 100%. But both of those technicals seem pretty soft to me.
I mean, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, right? They fought well. It was down to the wire pretty much throughout the game. But the Clippers like escaped it. I think the Clippers should have done better. But Luka came through, came up with how many points at this point?
I think he finished with 42. Finished with.
Yeah, no, that's impressive. I think it's only it's about the game's about to end, so definitely a good showing for them.
I do think that if Porzingis is able to stay in the game, they
They
actually have a
won.
chance at winning.
Yeah.
Like when Doncic went down in the first quarter with that ankle injury, Porzingis started the run that got them back in the game. And he was showing exactly what we were talking about last video about him being a walking mismatch. It's exactly what he showed all day today. Nobody could really guard him very well. Zubac wasn't fast enough. He couldn't stay out on the perimeter long enough. And then you had other guys that were trying to team up that they just weren't good matches. So I definitely think it'll be a good series.
Yeah, but the one thing that they lack is just experience, obviously, because you got Kawhi, who won the 2 championships already, 2 different teams, and then Paul George, who's been in the playoffs multiple times. So it's just hard to compete against experience and just that level of depth that the Clippers have.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
100%.
so it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but I can see that it's gonna be a very exciting series.
Absolutely.
I think we'll discuss that more, obviously.
Yeah, we absolutely will. Is TJ Warren's injury serious? I didn't get a chance to read up on it. I know he's been kind of in and out.
The thing
He's-
is,
He's questionable to play against Miami for Game 1. I don't think it's super serious. But
I don't. I think he'll be coming in. If he's not on crutches, then he's fine.
yeah, I mean
I think he'll
Domantas
be fine.
Sabonis also missing him is kind of a hurt for the Pacers. He's got that foot injury that seems to be kind of a little bit more serious. They haven't ruled him out for the playoffs yet. But the last update on him is that he's quote unquote out indefinitely. So we gotta keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Anyways, any other quick check-ins that we wanted to do from the rest of the bubble before we get into specifically the playoffs?
I don't know.
I think we're good.
I'm kind of worried. About the Lakers. I'm just really worried about them.
Yeah, they didn't look good. They looked good in that first game. They looked good in that first game, but I think that they need to show more consistent play.
They
More
just looked
consistent.
they looked checked out. They looked like, all right, waiting for the playoffs to start. But
I think that's a good way to say it.
come back to bite them in the ass.
I do think that's a good way to put it. Like they both meaning both LeBron and Anthony Davis had games when they played out of their minds, and then they had games when they looked like they completely disappeared.
Anthony Davis especially.
We'll talk about this more in a second, but when he looked really bad in that Pacers game.
Yeah, that's the thing. They need to get into their rhythm. When the bubble, they should have gone into that rhythm before the regular season games were over, but they didn't. They're static. It's just on and off games, like you just said. So
it sucks because
for intent.
It sucks because it really looked like the Lakers were hitting their stride at the end of before the break. They had won 4 in a row and they had beat 3 good teams in a row. They beat the Sixers, the Bucks, and the Clippers 3 games in a row. That's a big weekend. That's a big 3-game stretch that they swept. And then they come back and they just kind of look lackluster. I don't know.
Given the fact that the playoffs are coming up, you gotta rest. You gotta take it, LeBron and AD with a lot less minutes than we usually give them. So obviously, I think at that point, yes, they are resting their players and they're taking it easy. But you need to get into that flow. You gotta get into that mode where okay, you're serious about these games, and going into the playoffs, you're gonna keep that rhythm in.
Absolutely.
And that goes in with a team that they're going to face. I think obviously we're going to have loads of conversations about this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Lots of surprises. TJ Warren obviously had the huge bubble. That was insane. Porzingis showed up huge in the bubble so far. Devin Booker, obviously. So a lot of the younger players actually played a lot better than we were expecting. I kind of expected the younger players to struggle with the stopping and starting, whereas the veteran players' experience went out. But it looked like there was quite a few of the younger players that were really able to step up and make the most of the opportunity.
Right.
But I think it's time to get to the whole point of this video and really get into some of the nitty gritty. Let's start off by laughing at how bad our bracket was from last time. Let's just take a minute and just
Man, you
laugh at
put
it.
the Wizards in.
No,
That's
no, no,
just
no, no. We specifically said we didn't really expect either one. Like we didn't expect that they would do it, but it was a theoretical possibility.
Huh. Alright. Very, very, very theoretical possibility.
I mean, we had to try, right? We had to try to cover our ass a little bit. Anyways,
Alright,
I mean-
fair. I mean,
let's get into.
I mean, be honest. What did you think the Nets were gonna do going into this?
That's a good point.
I
The Nets,
think-
the Nets realistically probably shouldn't have won as many games as they did. I would say if every team, like every team played to their fullest extent, there's no reason why the Nets should have won as many games as they did.
that's fair.
But anyways,
Oh, yeah. The Wizards, yeah. Alright.
let's start out. I said let's start out east, and then come west because I think the west is gonna have a lot more in depth kind of stuff to look at. So let's start out east.
Okay.
Bucks Magic. Does
I mean,
anybody think the
okay.
Magic have a chance realistically?
No. No.
If they don't get run over in
no.
4 games, it's like that is a surprise.
Oh crap! I already put the Bucks way too far ahead. Hold up, I clicked the wrong spot.
Whoa, what are you trying to say? You're trying to say that the Bucks are gonna be.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see when we get there. Wait,
Oh.
do we think Bucks in 4? I don't know. Do we want to pick
I
that?
I would say, yo, 4. Yeah, Bucks in 4. Giannis will. Yeah, dude, Giannis will go off. I think. He
I
will.
say there is like a 5% chance that they have like one game where they all pop off and like they just say, okay, fine, have your one game.
But then that's Bucks in 5.
I say at worst. That's like a 5. Like I say that's like out of 100 times it maybe happens like twice. I'm going. Yeah, I'm saying Bucks.
I'm gonna say most likely Bucks in 4, but I don't see it going any further than 5. Like realistically. Pacers Heat. I think this is actually going to be a really good series. Obviously, we talked about T.J. Warren, how well he played to start the bubble off. Jimmy Butler out
could
Miami.
actually like kind of really affect that series.
Yeah, I'm hoping that his injury's not too bad. It doesn't sound like it's super serious, so that's good. It's going to be interesting to see how they transition into playoffs because playoff basketball will be different. We saw that enough today. It was just a different animal.
I think overall the Heat have the most or more depth in terms of like compared to the Pacers. So I'm gonna say Heat in 6. I'm gonna say it.
I mean, I could
don't know if
definitely
y'all-
see Heat in 6. I could see it. I'm kind of surprised
Yeah.
the Heat didn't jump up and snag the 4 seed. I'm not gonna lie to you. A little disappointed that they didn't.
Dude, that's gonna be a competitive series. I can't wait.
Also, expect Jimmy Butler to just take T.J. Warren at any moment, any and every moment that he possibly can, because they do not like each other, and that's just who Jimmy Butler is.
I mean, hey, T.J. Warren. I mean, they've been trying to tell us their rivalry is like completely done. They're all good now.
Yeah, but playing each other in playoffs.
I don't
is
believe
gonna-
that. I don't believe
I don't believe
That's
for a
cap.
second. But
don't
that's
believe
if TJ Warren's not playing, then I think there's really no. I think the Pacers will probably win a game or two, but I don't think there's any way that the Pacers beat them without TJ Warren.
I mean, T.J. Warren is expected. I would say he's probably going to play. Domantas Sabonis, I think, is the big loss for me. Not having him, he obviously was an All-Star
Yeah.
this year. He played very well. I think not having him is going to hurt. It also depends on which Victor Oladipo you get as well. Like we're still kind of waiting to see him get back to form.
He's not gonna get back into form until like actually 100% Oladipo mode. Not until like maybe a week, 2 weeks, because he's not going at that full pace immediately from the get go. That's not gonna happen.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
I do
So-
like the Pacers' chances though. I think I'm gonna put not the Pacers' chances, the Heat's chances. I'm gonna put the Heat in 6, but I could easily see this going 7 games.
Fair. All right.
I'm
Alright,
gonna
dude,
come
that-
out and say
that
the Heat in
series is
6,
like a
but I do
toss-up.
see it. This series
Let's do the toss up.
missing Ben Simmons sucks. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, the fact that that they don't have Ben Simmons, it hurts. It hurts the competitiveness of the series in my opinion, and I think it hurts the Sixers' chances. I actually think it flips who I would pick in this series. I think that despite the youth, I think the Celtics are. I like the Celtics in this series.
I'm gonna say Celtics in 5. I would say
The
5.
Celtics playing today, like I didn't catch a little bit of the game. Like when we were watching the video, like I talked about the fact that the Celtics got off to a horrible start this season, but then they couldn't put teams away. They were playing hella unsure of themselves, and they kind of looked a little disjointed from having such a new team compared to their other previous teams. And as time went on, they started to play more like a more cohesive unit, and as they played like a more cohesive unit, they looked better. And the time off didn't seem to really affect that. And the way they played today, well, and they were, they built themselves a lead, and they were able to keep themselves just out of reach of the Sixers for like the final 6 minutes of that game. However, the Celtics should just lose Gordon Hayward today. And now, how long that's going to be? Did they say?
I haven't seen anything that says. It just says he's listed as day to day. They probably need to go
Okay.
back and do some tests on his ankle, see how bad it is.
Yeah.
So
If they do lose
again-
Gordon Hayward, I think that is going to be a closer series. I actually, despite the fact that they don't have Ben Simmons, I think that their spacing gets better without him. I think they lose their primary ball handling, but their spacing gets slightly better without him. So I'm actually going to say I still think it's going to be a 6-game series, but I do like the Celtics in 6.
Sprained ankle.
I back that. I back that a lot. It's just like my biggest worry right now is the Sixers trying to be together as like a team. I don't see that sort of chemistry going on with them. Unlike what the Celtics have. Like Joel Embiid can go off, but like you saw that video of him like yelling at his teammate, right? In the middle of a game.
Oh yeah.
That was nah.
Yeah, also-
Yeah, but I think that was also from when they were playing like shit. Like I watch because listen, I once again first NBA game I went to live and since the Nets left New Jersey, I watched them get manhandled by Derrick Rose and the Detroit Pistons. Like the team was playing like shit for a team that is now top 4 seed in the. Or, wait, what are
They're
they?
the 3 seed.
Yeah, they're the 3 seed. So.
I mean, I also think the Sixers just took some hits to their depth. Mike Scott being the most recent. He played well in that game against the Suns, but he's been kind of dealing with some nagging injuries. Obviously, you got Ben Simmons. Zaire Smith wasn't able to make it to the bubble, and now Glenn Robinson, as of yesterday.
These are kind of like 2 thin teams playing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they're all getting hurt too. Like.
Yeah, it's like.
They're just slugging it out and they're seeing who falls first.
But I do think I like the Celtics in 6 there, and then the Raptors. The Nets have played really well. I think the
But
Raptors showed today they're just a better team.
Definitely. Like
So-
cohesiveness, they have that championship experience. Even if they don't have Kawhi, they're great as a team.
I almost feel comfortable saying Raptors in 4. Does anyone disagree?
As a Nets fan,
do
I
you
want to
wanna
say
factor in. You want to factor in how the Nets are playing in, like this past bubble.
I mean, part of me
Yeah.
does, but I feel like the playoffs are going to ramp up in intensity a little bit. To be fair, and I also think that the
Who
Nets
dropped
just don't
30
have
points to the
experience.
Raptors today? It was someone. Oh, what's his fucking name?
Like
Whatever,
who?
I can't think of it.
The Nets player that
someone
dropped.
dropped
Fred
30 points
VanVleet.
to the
Fred
Nets,
VanVleet
or-
put up 30 today.
Yeah. So the Raptors have, I'd say, a lot more. I mean, listen, there is no reason the Raptors should lose a series. But as a Nets fan, I like to give my team one game that they win. So I'm going to say 5. But yeah,
I mean,
think-
Jamal
I think
Crawford
the-
is
I think
now
the
also
Raptors
out.
have shown themselves enough to move. It's like everyone went, especially going to the season, including me. It was like, yeah, they don't have Kawhi. This team's nothing without Kawhi. This team's going to be decent, but not really there. And
I'm gonna say in 4. I'm gonna say in 4.
Jamal Crawford's also now going to miss the first few games of the series.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
no, 4. Okay,
yeah,
fine.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like.
Four.
No, sticking to my guns. 5. I don't care if it's hopeless.
Hey man, yo Matt, it's like 2-1 right now. So
I mean,
listen,
we can say.
No, you can put down the 4, but I swear to God, they win one game. They win one fucking game, and
fine.
Alright.
All right. How is there a way just to 4/5?
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
If
Well,
he
it's
if he
like-
wants to
Wait,
stick to his
parentheses,
guns.
Matt,
that's
so
fine.
just
It's
distance
like a
yourself
pity.
from this.
Oh, it's a pity point.
This is absolutely a pity one. This is
Yeah.
There you go.
there you go, perfect. You can distance yourself from me. Do I realistically think they're gonna win a game? No.
No,
But-
hell no, bro.
Hey, listen, you were relying on a 40-year-old man to lead your team, and he got injured.
All right, Lakers, Trailblazers. That should be.
Dude, this
That
is
is
my
one of the.
team, bro.
That my team too, man. I think this is the best 1-8 matchup you could have hoped for as a pure basketball fan. It's got to be the best 1-8 matchup you could hope for.
Yeah, like
Yes.
this matchup does not feel like a 1-8 matchup.
The Blazers are playing well. The Lakers weren't playing well in the bubble, but I do expect them to turn it up a little bit. The Blazers had to play well. They were playing for their right to play in the playoffs. The Lakers obviously had coasted to the 1 seed, so a little bit different of intensities. But I mean, the Trailblazers, like, you can't take anything away from them, man. They've been playing their asses off.
What I'm worried about is Nurkic destroying their defense, the Lakers' defense. Nurkic has been going off.
I do think the
Like-
Lakers have one of the better interior defenses in the league, though.
That's true, but then
With Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and Anthony Davis, those are like the triple towers down there.
That is true. No. I had to agree with that. This consistency is the biggest issue with both of these teams. And I think the Lakers are probably now in this environment less consistent compared to the Blazers. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Dame is going like every night. He'll be popping it from a logo. Like, are you kidding me? Like, why? Who would do that other than Steph Curry? Right? He's like the kind of guy who would provide that sort of like momentum going forward and lead the team. Along with CJ McCollum, there's Nurkic, Melo. How do you like? Who would have thought? Melo
Melo's
be
been
on this
playing
team?
well. Melo's been playing well.
Yeah, Melo.
I keep forgetting that Melo was on that team. It's like
What-
I saw it the other day. It's like wait, who the fuck is Melo? Like, what do you mean? Totally keep forgetting it. Like,
I do want to say I think that the Lakers. Well, I'm concerned about for the Lakers more. It's who's gonna D up Damian Lillard? Like, whose job is that?
Yeah.
There's no Avery Bradley. Normally I'd say stick Avery Bradley on him. He's not in the bubble.
No, but you know what? They got Deion Waiters, man. They got Deion
Oh,
Waiters.
here we go.
They got the Henny got himself too.
Oh, here we go. If our friends were here, they'd be excited because I could go on a JR rant, but I'm not going to.
oh yeah, that's the thing. Is like you got MVP J.R. Smith.
Oh,
How
here
could
we
you
go.
possibly
Here
lose?
we go. Here we go. This kid.
Bro,
They
he's
want
iconic, man. He's such an iconic figure. Living legend.
I think Quinn Cook has been forced into an important role on this team. Like,
That's true.
I think that especially with no Avery Bradley, you're gonna look for him to be that kind of 3-and-D guy that to kind of take over for Avery Bradley. I don't think he's the defender that Bradley was, but I do think that he's definitely got some upside shooting the basketball. Alex Caruso, the GOAT
Other
himself.
MVP of this team.
They do have defenders. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they do have defenders. I mean, Danny Green can play some solid defense. So like they have guys, but I don't know. Damian Lillard it's shown that he doesn't care who's on him. Like, he's just gonna do his thing. Especially he missed those 2 free throws to lose against the Clippers, and then has gone absolutely crazy. Also, Matt, I'm sure you have a Skip Bayless rant.
Fuck Skip. No. He's not worth a rant. The man's like just a raving loon. Like he backtracks yet simultaneously doubles down on things. Like in that oh god, did he put up 50 or 60 points?
I think
50.
60.
50.
60?
He did put 60 in one game, right?
I think he did.
Right.
He put up
During
50,
that- in the middle
51
of
against
that-
the Sixers.
In the middle of that game.
Yeah, he put up
Skip Bayless
61
is
against
like-
the Mavericks. Sorry to interrupt you. 61 against the Mavericks.
Yeah, no.
That's insane.
Like in the middle of that game, he's like saying like he should have made this shot. It's like, bro, he's put up 61 points. It's like, what do you mean?
He's nitpicking like every single thing, and he
It's
always
like-
finds something that's wrong. Even in the slightest bit, you just find something that's wrong.
It's like Jeremy with Sonny Gray. It's like,
Oh,
yeah, he
fuck Sonny
sucked, and then, but you know, look at what he's doing now. It's like, oh, he's clearly a good pitcher.
Anyways, back to the better sport here. I do think this is going to be a good series. Genuinely do think this is going to be a good series.
No, yeah, the series is gonna be really good. I feel like this is honestly a more competitive series than like
I'm gonna say
OKC
late.
Rockets.
I think this should be a
Just
6-game,
because it's
6 or
my
7
team,
game.
this is because it's our team, Jeremy. We're just gonna go Lakers in 6 or 7. I don't want to.
I mean, I'm definitely
I
thinking
hate
it's at least
saying
6
that.
games. I'm definitely saying it's at least 6 games. I do think
saying the 6.
Here's the thing: they have good like low post defenders for Anthony Davis, so he's gonna have some struggle. He's also gonna have to he has to learn how to play against the double team. Instead of you gonna get into it, he
Anthony
looked
Davis has
my
a lot.
god! Oh my god!
He looked
Anthony Davis has a lot to deal with against that team, and he hasn't looked good.
he
That's
looked
the double
so
whammy.
bad against the Pacers. I'm sorry, he looked so bad against the Pacers. They were throwing double teams at him, and he just looked like he didn't know what to do with the basketball when he got it. I do think that things
Yeah.
change in the playoffs. Different level of intensities, different level of preparation, all that stuff. But he's going to have to learn how to deal with a double team. He's going to have to. So I do like the Lakers in the series. I think that they're a little bit of a deeper team, and I think that the star powers are just a little bit better. But
Yeah.
I mean, I genuinely think this should just be a good series. But I'm comfortable with saying Lakers in. I almost want to say Lakers in 7, just because.
God damn it, Jeremy.
Just because here's the thing.
This is gonna be...
Damian Lillard has shown that he's not he's on a mission, a different type of mission this year. And I think that like the Lakers are gonna need that like back against the wall mentality to close out a series against him.
Again, I just think that depth matters at this point. They're both somewhat consistent. I mean, Blazers more consistent, obviously.
And the Blazers
But,
they've gotten some solid depth. Like on paper, you would say the Lakers have better depth, but like in terms of looking at how they've been playing, the Blazers have gotten solid production out of their bench units.
I have to go with the King. We have to go with the King.
Oh no, I'm definitely taking the Lakers in the series. It's just a matter of 6 or
Lakers
7
in
for me.
6. I'm gonna say Lakers in 6.
I'm gonna just put 6/7. I can see it going either way. I don't think they can close it out in less than 6 though. I would be surprised if it's a 5-game series.
True, 100%.
Unless
Here we
Damian
go.
gets hurt. Unless Damian gets hurt.
Yo, I'll be mad. I can't even live with.
Don't
live with
even
the fact that
like
it was amazing.
just knock on wood. Don't even delete that from the fucking video.
I'm knocking on wood. I will not delete it from the video, but I'm knocking on wood.
Okay.
My desk is wood now, so I can do that. Anyways, let's go to another good series. Rockets Thunder.
It's a rivalry, man. It's gonna be like it's like the 2 point guards who they switch.
Well, Russell Westbrook's missing a couple games, isn't he?
I think he is. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I read that he was going to be missing a few games, which, I mean, realistically, I'm not going to go sit out here and tell you that the Rockets, especially without Russell Westbrook, are that much better of a team. I genuinely don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook out for Game 1 versus Thunder. Eric Gordon is to start.
Man, I'm surprised that the Thunder even made it to the 5th seed in the first place.
They played well. They came out and they played well in the bubble.
I mean, especially Chris Paul, who was like, at the beginning of the season, there were talks that he was not going to even play a single game, right? And look at him now, like he's actually like leading a team to the 5th seed. Who that team possibly wouldn't even made the playoffs.
I mean, they only went
Back then.
4-4 in the bubble, from what it looks like. But
Yeah.
it just always felt like they were, they've been kind of hovering around even all season. They kind of kept out like overperforming what they were supposed to.
Right, exactly. And now you're gonna see like, see like a team with no center. Actually, a center.
Well, didn't
PJ
they sign
Tucker.
Tyson Chandler?
Well, that's the thing you gotta be worried about though. Is like with teams that overperform, like I feel like when it comes playoff time, they kind of get exposed to what they are when they overperform so heavily. So
Yeah, the Thunder also, and this team with like no or less depth, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say the Thunder have less depth, but they also have size, like a huge size advantage when you talk about Nerlens Noel and Steven Adams.
Yeah,
6'10",
no, they're
6'11"
gonna
guys.
dominate in the
Danilo
paint.
Gallinari is also
Yes.
6'10". I mean, they don't have like the massive size advantage that somebody like the Lakers would have, but you don't have good matchups for those guys down low, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would look to see like the Thunder being very aggressive in the paint, and the Rockets doing whatever they do, pick and roll, and then pop out to 3 in the corner, pretty much every time, every one of the many plays that they run.
I mean, you're looking at probably Robert Covington or Jeff Green manning your 4 spot for most of the playoffs, which I don't think
Yes.
that's a huge deal against the Thunder. I mean, Steven Adams could bang down low, but he's not usually that guy for them. He definitely can be, but he's not usually that guy.
No.
But I would be concerned Going forward, something to keep an eye on if you are a Rockets fan. If they make it past this round, keep an eye on that size matchup. It'll come up again. But
So what are we saying? What are we saying?
I'd say
It'd be tough.
it's
I'm
hard
go-
to pick
I'm-
against James Harden and Russell Westbrook. That's my opinion.
I'm going with the Rockets. I feel like it really
Rock-
isn't that. I like, at least from the casual, like, obviously not nearly as in depth look at it. Like for the casual that I am, I feel like I feel like it's the Rockets series to lose.
Yeah, I kind of
Rockets in
agree.
5. I'll say Rockets in 5. Okay.
Especially with Russell Westbrook missing at least one game, I'm gonna put at least 6.
6. Okay.
Just
Alright.
because, especially with Russell Westbrook missing game 1, I think the Thunder. Everybody's been kind of sleeping on the Thunder, as a whole, and I think that they are like a sound defensive team. I think they play well together. I think that they get 2 games.
All right.
But if I could do
Alright.
5/6, if you guys think it's gonna be 5, we can do that.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, it all depends on like what Westbrook, how quickly Westbrook gets healed. You know.
Yeah,
So,
that quad strain doesn't sound like it's super serious, but it can also be one of those nagging things. And for an explosive player like him, he needs his legs to be healthy.
That's true. That is very true. But we'll see. That series is like you gotta wait. You gotta wait and then see what happens.
I would say Nuggets Jazz was the surpriser for me today. That was a
Bro.
good ass basketball game. I don't know if y'all watched it. That was a good ass
Mitchell-
basketball game.
Okay, well, for those of you doesn't know, Donovan Mitchell scored the 3rd most amount of points in all of NBA history in the playoffs. That's insane.
Put up 57, and down the stretch, it was literally Jamal Murray versus Donovan Mitchell. Like everybody was talking about the 2-man game. There was a few possessions in a row. I don't even think Jokic touched the ball. It was just Jamal Murray versus Donovan Mitchell. Heads up to close out that regular quarter. I do think that the Utah missed that secondary ball handler with Mike Conley having to go to Columbus, Ohio for the birth of his son. I think they missed that having that secondary ball handler to kind of give Mitchell a chance to just breathe for a second.
True. That's very true. All I'm seeing right now is that because Conley is out there, he's out. Mitchell is stepping up, and you're starting to see like that score mentality that he has, and that like, just to see that sort of passion coming through, that will definitely help them fight against the depth of the Nuggets. So at the end of the day, I don't know if the Jazz can make it past the Nuggets. Nuggets are just.
I don't really think they can
solid team.
either. The one thing I want to keep an
Yeah.
eye on, or that I don't know, is if Mike Conley does come back to the bubble, how long is he made to quarantine? If he has to quarantine for 2 weeks before he can play, that's going to be at least this entire series and most of the next one. So I would not give them a good chance. But if he can come back and start playing, like say Game 3, I do think that he has just because of his secondary ball handling ability to give, obviously you're going to want the ball in Donovan Mitchell's hands. You're going to want to give him that chance to just go light up the scoreboard, absolutely. But just giving him the ability to run the offense off ball a little bit, get himself the ball in a better position, that would be huge.
That is true. That is very true. But again, it's just him. It's just him and him only.
Yeah, I think we
Donovan
kind of got to
Mitchell-
go. We kind of got to go Nuggets here, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Nuggets can. I think Nuggets will go in. It's
I mean,
gonna be tight. It's
If
also
Donovan
tight, too.
Mitchell's going to play like this, if he's going to play like this, you almost got to
6.
say it's going to be 6 games.
6. Yeah, 6. I'll say 6.
Yeah, I think Nuggets in 6. I do think that was a good ass basketball game though today. Like that was a really close game. Like obviously the Nuggets pulled away a little bit in overtime, but it was a good basketball game.
Facts.
Alright.
I have to agree with this one.
Now
Oh,
we
man.
talked about this a little bit earlier. Clippers Mavericks. I feel so bad for the Mavericks today. I do think that the game would have been. I'm not saying that they would have won if Porzingis hadn't been ejected, but
it would have been a much better game overall.
absolutely. I mean, they wound up losing by 8, but there was points in that game when the Mavericks looked like they were primed to pull away. Like I said, Porzingis sparked that comeback. They were down 18-2 or something in the first quarter. Luka goes down with an ankle injury. All of a sudden, Porzingis comes in and just leads that team back into the basketball game. That's huge.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? We got because I think we're undercutting like what Kawhi and PG have to offer. I mean, at least now we get to see them them considering this as like more of like a wake up call, right? Now they're gonna be a little bit more aware what to do, and next game I think it's gonna be or next couple of games is gonna be more closer to like a blowout or like double digit leads. I think
I've got
after this
Clippers in
game,
5. I've got
I got
Clippers in
Clippers in
5.
5. I
I
got
do as well.
yeah.
I think
You,
that the reason why I was
Mavericks
harping
to
on
win game.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
reason why I was harping on the Mavericks losing Porzingis is because it would have been huge. They walk in there, steal game one, that would have been huge. But
Facts.
not having a
Facts.
chance to do that, you're asking a lot of this team that I think is really at least 1, maybe 2 years away from being really ready. I think Luka's got to get a little bit older, a little bit more experience. Specifically, I noted today there was a couple times Paul George just straight up blew by him on defense. He can't have that happen.
Right.
He's got to shore up his defense a little bit. I think he's 1 or 2 years away from really being ready. And I think Porzingis needs to get his feet back underneath him a little bit. He started to have a better showing in the bubble, but most of the season he kind of was trying to find his place. So I think this team is realistically 1 year away from really getting ready to compete. This would be good experience for them, but I do think the Clippers. I mean, when you talk about the roster that they've put together behind Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, realistically, Paul George at any moment he can get hot and be the number one player in any playoff series. And when you have two guys that can do that on one team,
Yeah.
that's saying something. So I do expect the Clippers to kind of come out and buckle down a little bit. Anybody object to Clippers in 5?
No.
I think that's fair.
No.
No.
This is. There's no way. There shouldn't be any objections to this. I don't know if like the Mavericks may pull up a surprise for like one game, but like,
They're just not ready.
like,
They're just too young.
very good chance Clippers are going to be in 5.
I just think they're just not ready. I think that they've got a lot of young pieces on this team, and I think that they're 1 season away from really being ready to compete.
It's just time. Like they need time. Not just like
He's only 21,
they're
man.
first-
He's only 21.
yeah. He got time. He hasn't reached his peak yet. So
Yeah, and like talks about the NBA, like the Mavericks are in a spot where they are going to continue to get better, and so though I think they are entirely outclassed in this series, they are a team with a hella bright future. Like they are a really good basketball team, and they have a shitload of time to develop these guys into a much more threatening team. But versus you're unfortunately just facing Paul George and Kawhi Leonard at a very deep Clippers team. Like that's just how it is.
Oh, and the Peanut Gallery has chimed in to tell us that they need the JR rant. Oh, here we go again.
I mean, we can. You want to start with the West, Lakers, Rockets?
No. Let's go back out east. Let's stay consistent. I'm not giving them the JR rant that they know I can give them. That is an entire video all on itself. I have at least an hour and a half of JR rants that I could go on, but we're gonna leave that for another day.
I will be absent from this. I cannot.
Yeah, that's
let me
fine.
listen to
We're
another
moving
one.
on. Let's go Bucks Heat.
Well,
I think it'll be a hella
Again,
good series.
here's what I'm gonna do. I think yes, it's gonna be a very good series, but because Giannis, I know Giannis is gonna be that type of guy who would take like a rivalry or like a competition to like the next level. Like you'll start to see like the Bucks coming through just because of Giannis. So I think I'm gonna have to go with the Bucks on this one. Heat, nah, I don't think. Even though they had Jimmy Butler, they don't have enough experience. They don't.
Yeah, they don't have enough experience.
fair.
I do like the Bucks overall in the series. I will say I'm interested to see whose job it's gonna be to try to guard Giannis. If they're gonna go with someone like a Jimmy Butler, or if they're gonna put Bam Adebayo on him, or what they're gonna do. I think size-wise,
Yeah.
Bam Adebayo is the better matchup, but I don't know that he's got the foot speed to keep up with him.
Yeah, dude, how can you defend Giannis when he's doing that spin move and just takes two giant steps and just suddenly gets to the rim and just scores? I think he's just too big to guard. It's very difficult to guard this man.
So I think we're
Yeah,
all
but
in
you
agreement.
saw it
Bucks.
but okay. I will say though, you saw it last season though. You watched it happen last season. Everyone, like the Bucks are the team to beat. You know, they have this. They're better than everyone else. Giannis is a monster. He steamrolled his way to the MVP. Got to the playoffs, and teams figured him out in the playoffs. So
That's true.
while I do agree, he should be impossible to block. We've seen it happen, and when it's happened, he hasn't looked pretty when it's been happening.
So
However,
here's the thing that
Matt,
I
concerns me.
100% agree with you
Yeah.
that this should be,
I think that
impossible to defend him. Like,
I do think that the difference last year, and then I'm gonna let Side talk for a second, but I do think that the difference from last year is that they had Kawhi Leonard, man. Like Kawhi Leonard was on a different type of mission. He was able to play some very solid defense, and
well, yeah,
they also the Raptors completely sold out and said someone other than Giannis beat us, and they weren't able to. But this season, the Bucks have showed that they're capable of playing at a high level and winning basketball games when Giannis is injured, when he's out of the game.
Yeah. I mean, to add on to that, I would say like back then you're in a different scenario, right? Because you're going to different arenas, you're going to different cities, you have this different stress. You have this different level of like pressure on you. Now that you're in one location, things are different. You could say that because of that he's in the playoffs, that he has more tendon or more likely to be like uh having these core games. Uh but I would say things are different, you know? Just the
yeah,
environment is different. Like he has more time to like practice, more time to focus on his form. I think that he'll be able to go off more often. Not to say that he'll go off every game. I would start to see like more consistency with his performance. So yeah,
mhm.
I still think he
even
needs
then.
I still think he needs to put more working on his jumper. I haven't really seen that consistency from three that would really bring his game to that next level.
His jumper is like I think he needs to start like at least in the playoff round, he has to keep on going to the rim. Like
Absolutely.
just keep on driving.
But
I mean,
I think
listen.
the wild
To be
card
fair, if I was that big, how much would I work on my jump shot?
that's the
Not a
difference
lot,
though.
don't.
That is the difference maker. That is what makes him the best player in the league. If he develops if he can shoot even if it's like 35% from 3, he's the best player in the league.
Why would he do it now? Why would he
If
develop
he, he's like, yeah, I'm already the best player in the league, but let me just, become entirely unstoppable. Like it's just,
I mean, that is the next
yeah,
phase of his game though. That is the
it
next
is.
thing.
That is.
So, but I do think
It's
that the other thing that we haven't highlighted here is the play of Chris Middleton. I think he had I think he's gonna play a big role in their ability to really step it up. He had a great season, averaging almost 21. He had a good season, and more importantly, he shot over 40% from 3. If you can get that kind of consistent production from him, that is huge.
That's the thing, but have you seen his past couple of games? It hasn't been like shooting that well.
I mean,
At
now
least
the
from
whole
deep.
Bucks roster hasn't played that well the past few games.
That's fair point. Fair point. That's the thing.
They
It's just
they lost to the Grizzlies, man.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's just the
And the
point. Like
Nets.
so, I mean, that's something to watch out for. At least
We will see very quickly.
yeah.
We will see very quickly just going into this first if they played that way because of the fact they had they really didn't need to play that seriously, they just needed to stay healthy, or if they were playing that way because they are genuinely behind the curve. And I think I highly suspect it's because
They're
they
the
they,
first
they
seed.
they were the first seed, no one was challenging their first seed. Like,
yeah, no, I 100% expect them to step it up, but come playoff time, I definitely think that now the playoffs are here, they're gonna step it up, get to that next level. Plus, they kind of get a warm up series against the Magic. Sorry, Magic fans. Um,
No.
they get a chance to really kick it into that next gear against an opponent that they can get away with some of those silly mistakes against, and really buckle down. I think the Heat are good, and I do think that there will be a game or two where they really just sell out to stop Giannis, and he can't find that answer, at least right away. But I would say I expect the Bucks to win in no more than 6.
I would say 6. I'll back it.
yeah, I think that's a fair.
The Heat are a good team. They're a solid team. I think they take the next. I think they take another step forward as some of the younger players get better. I think you got a few more years of Jimmy Butler really being able to play at a high level. Bam Adebayo is only going to get better. Same thing with some of the younger guys like Tyler Hero played really well this season. Even Derek Jones Jr. I actually kind of like him. I think he's going to take some time to step up. And I think that as they kind of get more experience, they will get better and become a bigger threat. And now it's going to be just a matter of how do they replace some of these older pieces. But um, I do think that they're not quite ready to compete.
No, not yet. They're gonna need to do some shakeups in free agency. They're gonna have to, but that's for another time.
Yep. So let's go Celtics Raptors. This is a hard one for me, and here's why. The Raptors are playing insanely well together as a team. They are looking strong. They're looking solid. They're looking like a very complete basketball team. But as we've all seen, and we saw it even a little bit today, we were talking earlier about the Jazz Nuggets. We were talking about just kind of some of the hero ball moments. That's what a lot of times is the make or break in a lot of these series. You put together a great team, a great roster. You got 30 seconds left on the clock, down by 2. You need someone to hit that big shot. Who's getting the ball? And I don't know if Pascal Siakam is ready to be that guy yet.
You sure? I mean, like, given the fact that like that whole entire Raptors team is just very, very like cohesive, right? So it's just I see in terms of if we're gonna compare like a team performance day over day, I would back Raptors at this point. Raptors have been performing really well.
I'm not saying I'm taking the Celtics over the Raptors, but I do think I think the Raptors are playing better together. I think they're playing better together as a team. I think that they look like the better unit to this point in the bubble, especially. But I think that the Celtics, they have 2 of those guys. You got 2 guys that you can give the ball to and get out of their way, and they will get you a bucket, both in Jason Tatum. And even though he hasn't really had that great of a season, not that he hasn't had a good season, but Kemba Walker can be that guy. He showed for a lot of years he can be that guy. I don't see why he can't continue to be that guy.
True, but like, is there someone like on that team that just like, okay, if they're off the court, right? Who's gonna be their next man? Who's gonna be the person who's gonna step up and
Jaylen Brown.
Take a shot? Again, like, what did he do? How much has he been averaging in the bubble?
I can tell you he averaged 20 on the season. Same thing with he averaged actually almost as much as Kemba did on the season, and then Jason Tatum was their leader. I can't tell you in the bubble what he averaged. Is there a way for me to search by the bubble pretty easily? Does not look like.
I mean, like recently, like we can just look at the last 2
Oh,
games,
I can just
right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So like in the one game that he played against the Sixers, right? Or actually, that's today. He scored 29 points. He was solid. But I think, but then when he was playing Memphis, he only scored 7, and he was 3 of 13. So he's this type of person who's, I would say, inconsistent, right?
Yeah.
You have a team that first has his championship background, has his experience, and then you have another team that's all around well, but there can be inconsistent at times. So
and also, Gordon Hayward went off on a boot today. So if they're missing Gordon Hayward, like
yeah, exactly.
I mean, he only put up 7 against Memphis, but if you look at the 3 games before that, he put up 19 against Orlando, 20 against Toronto, and 21 against Brooklyn. So it's not like he isn't capable of being that. He had one off game. I think it's a bit harsh to come out and say, you know. I don't know. He put up 30 in the first game of the bubble against Portland. That was his only down game realistically. He didn't have that other than that one game against Memphis. He put up 7 he only played 28 minutes that game.
Sure.
Other than that, the lowest amount of points he scored was 18. So I do think he is capable of being that third guy and stepping up if they need him to. We've seen him hit a big shot, at least one that comes to mind. He had that kind of weird one where Jason Tatum threw it off the front of the rim and it wound up in his hands for 3. So he's capable of hitting big shots. We've seen that, and I think that he's a solid third option. Now, does that put the Celtics roster as a whole better than the Raptors? No, not necessarily. But if it
Nah.
comes down to crunch time, they've got those guys that we've seen are capable of hitting those shots. And we have some of those guys for the Raptors too, but I don't see the guy that can create his own shot. That's what I'm worried about.
I mean, that team relies primarily on just playmaking. You see the Raptors, right? Kyle Lowry pushes the ball constantly, pretty much every play, and you start to see like that they know each other's tendencies and all, and where they want to play, where they want to shoot, where they want to drive. Like they know all this stuff. It doesn't have to be like someone who can create their own shot. It's just more or less where can you, who is the best at this, and have the other people support that player. And that's just Kyle Lowry. I think that person who's going to be supported is Kyle Lowry or Pascal Siakam if Lowry's not in the game. So no matter how you want to spin it, I think that no matter if there's no person that is able to create the shot, they're going to find a way because they have that sort of experience and they have the sort of knowledge and then like on how to approach each play, given that they have been in the championship last year. So I'm still going. I'm backing. I mean, I'm backing the Raptors, but I'm pretty sure that I could go into like a 7-game series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am going to backtrack for a
100%,
second.
yeah.
I was wrong. It was actually the Trailblazers that I said was the first game. It was actually the second game of the series. He put up 22 the first game series against the Bucks. Jaylen Brown. Sorry, I
Okay.
wanted to correct myself.
All right. Yeah. No worries, man. No worries.
But I do think that the Raptors are a more complete team. I think they're a more ready team. I think they're a more battle tested team.
All right.
And so I am going to say that I like the Raptors to come out on top, but especially given Gordon Hayward leaving in a boot. But let's
It's
not look.
RIP.
You can't look past the
Celtics.
Celtics. You can't look past the Celtics. That's what I'm going to say. You can't
No,
look past
yeah.
them. You can't. It's not a
one thing
foregone
I will
conclusion.
say is about this team that I really like is that they all pick each other up and they play as a cohesive unit. Now, yes, star power tends to define these things, but I can think of like almost every person on that Raptors team that has at one point carried that team, and I think they are able to pick each other up really easily, and I feel like if like let's say going into this like you know they have a bad game like or like some guy on the I don't know some big guy has a fucking terrible game, they like any team like the Rockets without let's say Russell Westbrook and James Harden decide to both have an off night, like that team's done. Like the Raptors don't have that same problem, I think, because like normally when you see teams like this that have like decent guys everywhere, you need that extra guy to just push you over the edge. But this team is a case of everyone's really solid, and they have blanking on names.
Pascal Siakam.
They have Pascal Siakam, and like they don't, and not that but this team is very much not the Pascal Siakam team. Like though he is the probably the biggest name on that team now. Like he's still like that team is still very solid. Like just every single player has a lot of potential to do a lot, and they work so well as a unit.
That's the thing. You gotta see 2 all-around teams battle against each other, but
I do think that they're
Well,
two
one
very
succumbs to
deep
injuries.
teams. I will say that.
yeah.
Um,
If one succumbs to injuries, who will then come out? And
I
honestly,
am gonna pick. Like I said, I am gonna take. I
gonna go
would like to
Raptors.
pick the Raptors, but I'm just saying, you can't look past the Celtics team. I think the Celtics team is good, and I think
100%.
someone like Jason Tatum gets hot, look out. Jason Tatum has that. I don't think that he's. I think he's. Sorry. I think next year is their year, the Celtics. I think the next year is the year that they're ready to seriously compete. I'm not saying they're gonna go all the way, but if they can keep large parts of this team together and they just get 1 year older, they get that extra experience. I think that they're next year going to be really ready to compete in the East. Same thing with the Raptors. I do think we're kind of jumping the gun a little bit here, but I think that the Raptors and the Celtics are going to be serious threats. Like they're already serious threats in the East, but like the Bucks are going to have to play with their eyes open when they're kind of looking at these teams. That's all I'm saying. Like when
No,
you're
they
building your
got
team, getting into the
potential.
offseason, watch out for these two teams. I think that they're both young. They're both exciting teams to watch. I think the Raptors are just a little bit better and a little bit more battle tested. Um, so I do want to say Raptors in 7. I do think it's a 7-game series, but like I actually almost even want to put Celtics/Raptors in 7. Like I'm more confident that it's going to go 7 games than I am in the winner, in my opinion.
Ooh, okay, all right. So is it gonna be a toss up here? Are you not? Are you gonna?
I don't know. I don't know that I'm ready to put the Celtics past them. I think I am going to just stick with the Raptors, but like I want it on record that
I
if the
think
Celtics win,
Raptors,
I'm not surprised.
but
Yeah.
I don't think it's a 7-game series. I
You
don't
don't think
think
it's a
so.
7-game
Really?
series?
Really?
No,
What do you think,
okay.
man?
Well, as of right now, with like once again, barring Gordon Hayward not being injured, I think if Gordon Hayward is injured, this is not a 7-game series.
So
Uh,
you're gonna say Raptors in 6?
I'm gonna say Raptors in 6.
I mean, I'll put the 6/7. I
That's
think that
Oh no, I'm feeling a little ballsy with it. I know, like
it
logically,
is bold. That's very bold of you.
but I mean, I could see it go both ways. I
I
mean,
would
listen,
say the think about both of these teams, and I'm not even just talking about sex. Both of these teams, they have that kind of next man up mentality. Someone goes down, next guy up, it's your turn.
but that's the other thing though. Yeah, that's their mentality. But we were just talking about it. The Celtics are a thin team right now, though, with injuries. So
Mhm.
they don't have. So they may have that next man up mentality, but they ain't the New York Yankees. They don't have guys ready to go.
Am I really? I don't know that I'm ready to say that they're that thin, personally. I mean, when you
I
look
don't
at
know.
it, you still got Kemba, you still got Marcus Smart, you still got Jalen Brown,
Marcus
Jason
Smart,
Tatum.
good defensively,
They're
but
not thin.
that guy can't score.
Well,
Uh,
okay. Here's the thing. I don't think they're thin. They're
um,
not thin at all.
I don't think it's
So
that he can't score. I think it's that he's not relied on to score. He
Fair.
absolutely has he absolutely has moments when he can just go crazy. Like he has those moments. He just hasn't been relied on to score. And I do think that with Gordon Hayward going down, you're gonna see guys like Jalen Brown. You're gonna see guys like Marcus Smart. They're gonna get more touches. They're gonna be forced to step up. Now, do I think that puts them over the edge? No. I do think that I still like the Raptors, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how this team plays without Gordon Hayward. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
if
But then
he's out,
again, listen,
if
if
he's out.
that's if it says it's an ankle sprain, and
He,
depending on
he's
the
still
grade,
listed as day to day, so I
yeah,
mean
so
we'll
if
know
he's
more.
day to day and he's back, like then this
7.
game, then 7. Yeah,
7.
All right. So
fair,
let's assume health. Let's be optimistic and assume health, and just go Raptors in 7. How about that?
fair,
Yep.
Everybody comfortable with
fair.
that? We're assuming health.
Yeah, assuming health.
Yep.
Um, but I want it on record. I think the Celtics have if they play well together, and I think Brad Stevens is going to do a good job of keeping this team locked in. I do think that they've got a chance. I don't think that this is one of those that's kind of a
They,
foregone conclusion. I think they got a shot.
I think they need to make one more move, and then they can be called like contenders, like actual legit contenders. But again, we digress.
Yes.
Let's talk about this one.
Let's go
Yes,
out
yes.
west.
Rockets.
Lakers, Rockets. I'm gonna be honest. I don't
Lakers, bro.
think that the Rockets match up well at
The
all.
Rockets are a pure, like they are the most one-sided team in the league when it comes to just pure offense.
Right.
It's score, 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 and like
I mean, you
they,
can say that about the
they,
Blazers
but-
too.
But Matt,
but the Lakers have a
Matt,
significantly better defense.
no,
Absolutely.
this is the thing. The Rockets, like, right? They can have very good games. Like, they can keep on going for 3. You can hit 3 after 3 after 3. But there are gonna be moments where they're gonna be bricking constantly, and so you can't rely on the 3 all the time. But it's always like their mentality is like go hard or go home. So yeah, so like Lakers have that, like they can score from 3, they can score from deep, they can score from the paint, they can do defense, they can do it all. So I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's gonna be Lakers, but
Yeah.
whether it be like 5 or 6, I'm
It
not sure.
depends. It depends entirely. Like you said, they are going to be games where they just hit 3 after 3. So it depends on how many. If it depends on how many of those games they have.
I personally want to say
Exactly.
Lakers in 6. I think that um, James Harden will just have one or two of those nights when he's just in his bag,
When he's just
realistically.
James Harden.
Yeah, when he's just James Harden. But I don't think that they've got the requisite. I mean, realistically, even if you just want to look at it at a surface level, I don't think they've realistically got the size. Who's matching up against Dwight Howard in the post? Find me the guy.
PJ Tucker, my guy. PJ
Like
Tucker.
like even
How tall is he?
I was actually watching the Lakers Rockets game when they played a few nights ago. And that's exactly what Dwight Howard. There was a few times Dwight Howard just demanded the ball in the post and just walked him underneath the rim.
There's no stopping them, man. If you're the Rockets, there's if you try playing James Harden as center.
James Harden at center. Whoa.
Do you know he's played people at center? Like he's played centers when he's playing defense.
That
You know
is
that?
a mismatch and a half.
Yeah, no. It's just ever since they traded Clint.
I would actually
Yeah.
be interested to see if in a 7-game series if they let Tyson Chandler try to touch the floor. He's on the roster. He's still he's in the bubble.
Has he played any minutes?
Not really, but I almost feel
So
like
then
against that kind of size you have to. I mean, he has played this
I
season, but I don't know. I almost feel like you have to just for defensive purposes have to give him a shot. No.
maybe you'll start. Maybe we'll see him. Who knows? Like in this, if this series happens.
I mean, he's realistically their only 7-footer. He put up. Has he even played? He played.
No.
He played in 3 games. He played in 3 games. He didn't play in the bubble at all. The last time he
Yeah.
played was in January. But I almost feel like you kind of throw him out there for a few minutes. Just let him eat up some guys on defense. Like what? I don't know. I don't think they match up well without him.
Dwight. He'll be playing Dwight Howard. He'll be playing JaVale. But other than that, I only see his minutes be limited and not really have an impact.
Oh no, I don't really
On the
expect him to play
series.
really at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes
Yeah.
multiple games without touching the floor. But size-wise, he's their best matchup, realistically.
Facts. Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
All right. Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I think Anthony Davis is a matchup nightmare. Are you gonna put Robert Covington on him, Jeff Green? Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
It's over.
I like Lakers in 6.
That's good.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. I feel like this is it's funny. The one of the later round ones is one of the more obvious ones.
Yeah.
I honestly think the Trailblazers match up better against the Lakers than the Rockets do. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, just for just because of how their games play out.
Anyways,
I mean,
Nuggets Clippers.
Yes. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Now that the Clippers are in their mode, I'm assuming that they're going for it. I'm thinking that the duo, PG, Kawhi, will definitely outperform at least the Joker and Jamal Murray. So I'm gonna have to put the Clippers on this one.
Yeah, I
Clippers
definitely got the
have to be-
Clippers as well. I don't think
Yeah.
it's a walk in the park.
I feel like most of our arguments have been over how many
It's just
games,
depth.
as opposed,
I had to say
to
depth, man.
who wins.
It's just depth.
I actually heard someone say today, one of the announcers were saying today actually that they think that the Clippers are the team to beat. Like the Clippers are the prohibitive favorites. I don't know that I'd go that far, but let's not get it twisted. The Clippers are a very solid team. They've got a real shot to win it all this season. I don't think the Nuggets are ready.
They have a point, it makes sense because that first game that we saw against the Lakers, they didn't. I don't think they had. Did they have PG when they were playing? Or no, they didn't have. They didn't have Lou Will. They didn't have Lou Will playing.
Yeah.
So even then, they beat the Lakers, and it was just a complete shock. If Lou Will was in the game, what would have happened then? Would it have been double-digit lead? Would it have been a complete blowout?
I do think that the other thing to keep an eye on for the Nuggets is will Gary Harris and Will Barton make it back this season? They've been both battling injuries. Harris is battling that hip. Barton's battling that knee. I think that those,
I don't think so.
I do think that they would be big. They would be big parts of if they want to compete against the Clippers. They need those guys healthy, and they've got time to get healthy before they get into that next round. But I think that's the key.
How serious are the injuries?
I can't really.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Alright.
Is Jamal Murray hurt now? Because their season will end. Their season's over.
No. Wait.
He's listed as out on ESPN. I think that ESPN just didn't update it because he played today.
Nah,
And
yeah,
I don't
they
think he got
messed up,
hurt.
dude. They messed
Yeah, they
up.
messed it up. I was like, huh?
I
Did I miss
Jamal
something?
Murray's out, then why are we having this conversation?
Yeah, no.
Like-
If everybody comes back healthy, I think it'll be a much better series. But I do think Clippers either way.
More depth.
More depth, better
duo.
stars. I think the Nuggets will be an interesting team.
It'll be a good series, but
Yeah.
I think
Also,
the
I
overall
want to give a quick
Clippers
shout
just
out.
have the better talent.
I want to give a quick shout out to Michael Porter Jr. He looked really good in the bubble. He had his moments when he went crazy.
Dude, that's a breakout. I think it's a breakout game. That one game that he had, when I was like, whoa, this man had like a serious back injury, and now look at him, like outperforming everyone.
I
went from a
was
bench-
yelling at my TV that when it was draft night, I was yelling at my TV that all those teams were passing on him, and he proved me right.
Essentially, yeah, dude. Like, look at him now. He went from being a bench warmer now to being like an actual starter.
Yeah, absolutely.
In
And
that
I
game
think that the
bubble, yeah.
key for the Nuggets is for these young guys to continue to mature, but I don't think they're ready this season. I think Clippers. I almost even want to say Clippers in 5. I don't think the Nuggets are
Whoa.
ready. I don't think the
Okay.
Nuggets are ready.
I think they'll give him a run for their money.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a 6. I'll be Clippers in 6.
This will be my bold pick. I'll do 5/6. That is my bold pick, though. I do think that
Okay.
the Nuggets are just not ready yet.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's overall theme of just every series in 6. Couple of like,
Yeah,
7s.
because like when series are good, like you expect them to pick up
Dude.
2 games. I feel like it's
Yeah, like the whole entire West is just like 5,
such
6,
good.
6,
It's
yeah.
so good. It's not like the East where you have the Wizards.
the Wizards didn't
You
make
know,
the
we
playoffs.
have the Wizards. Like
Wizards
it's
didn't
just
make the
like,
Forget
playoffs.
about the Wizards.
Wizards didn't make the playoffs. Wizards did not make the playoffs.
This is
Like
Okay.
they won target. They wanted to be target practice. That's what they are.
yeah. They should really consider what to do with Bradley Beal and John Wall especially.
John Wall's $40 million contract. Although you hope for health. Hopefully he comes back healthy next season. Anyways, let's not talk about a team that didn't make the playoffs.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's go Bucks and Raptors.
Bucks
Let's
Raptors.
see.
Oh, sorry, I meant to say
Oh.
I went to Magic. Whoops.
Bucks Raptors.
This
This
is
is so
tough.
hard for me. This is hard for me. I come back to do the Raptors have the star power? And the answer is they don't have the star power that the Bucks do, obviously, but they also have the winning formula. They know how to play defense against him. They don't have Kawhi. They're missing that pivotal point of not having Kawhi. I'm not overlooking that, but
It depends entirely on how they are able to defend Giannis if they can. If they can't, no way.
But if they put Gasol and Giannis, will that
True.
work?
no, he doesn't have the foot speed.
Yeah. The thing is, like, as long as he like stays relatively closer to the paint, like Gasol when he's defending Giannis, I think it should be fine. But then in transition, when Giannis is dribbling and going up the court, bro, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't have a. There's no. Problem is, there's not really a good matchup in the league for Giannis. He's too damn big and too damn fast.
Pascal maybe. I think Pascal's the closest thing you can use.
And
Or
they do
for,
have
yeah.
Pascal, but he's giving up 2 inches on him. So it's like, I don't know. But I think it'll be a good series. But I do think that when you get into series like this where it's just a slugfest back and forth, I mean the Raptors are, I would say, slightly deeper, but the Bucks have a ton of depth as well. I almost want to say that I think it's going to just kind of be a slugfest to the end, but I think when that happens, you kind of got to go with the best player on the who's the best player on the court, and I don't think anybody's going to argue that right now that has to be Giannis. So I do want to give the Bucks the nod. Does anybody object? Anybody going to be bold and pick the Raptors?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I want to
think
be bold
I
and
think
pick the
experience-
Raptors because like
I would.
I
I'm
want-
gonna be
I-
bold and pick the Raptors here. I'm gonna be bold and pick the Raptors here. I think I have to, cause like,
I kind of want to.
yeah,
I mean, I respect it. I'll put them in there. I've got the Bucks. I'm telling you now, I've got the Bucks. But if y'all think
I
it's
feel like
Raptors,
logically it should be the Bucks, but I like this Raptors team a lot, and so I feel like
No, the thing is, like, I'm the opposite. Like, I like the Bucks a lot, but given like all of these like previous history with the Raptors, and then just in general, like they have the formula down. They have everything down.
I think that they just don't have. I think Kawhi was the key to that series. I don't think they get past that series without Kawhi last year, and I don't know how they're going to do it this year. That's what concerns me.
Hmm.
I
That's
don't.
something we gotta see.
I mean, Kawhi is. I would argue one of the top 3 defenders in the league, just as a whole. And size-wise, he doesn't match up bad against Giannis at all. So I think realistically, I think that Kawhi is that ideal matchup for Giannis, in my opinion. And they're missing that now.
7. We'll go Bucks/Raptors in 7.
Yeah, I agree.
Toss it.
100% agree.
And here's the controversial.
Lakers Clippers. Everyone has been talking about this day
Since
one.
preseason.
As no,
Since
not even
Kawhi fucking signed, and everyone was like,
since they
Clippers are
dragged
the
Paul
team
George,
to
man.
beat.
The second he dragged Paul George with him, you had to know this is what it was coming down to.
I was crying, dude.
You had to know this is what it was going to come down to, though. I mean, I think everybody kind of expects that this is going to be Western Conference Finals matchup, slugfest to the end. Who's going to make it? And I don't know, genuinely. I think that this series could go either way. I'm a biased Lakers and LeBron fan, so I want to take the Lakers, but I would be remiss if I said anything other than this is going to be a damn good series.
Okay, how about this? If we were, let's just go back to the Bucks and Raptors thing. We need to pick one team, right? At least when it comes to like determining a champion. So for the East side, let's just choose one team in 7. Not like the Bucks or the Raptors. Just choose just one team. Who are we gonna pick for that one team?
I don't know. I mean, I would. Yeah, I think that the problem is that we have differing opinions, and I don't think either one of us are gonna sway. Genuinely. You guys feel very strongly that the Raptors are ready. I feel very strongly that they're gonna lack that just end of game firepower.
I'm going with the Raptors. I'm sticking to it.
I'm sticking to the Raptors.
Yeah, but I'm also gonna stick to the Bucks. So.
And you know, I decided to look at the, just quickly do a little search up, and we're going with the first thing that I see. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Predicting the 2020 NBA playoffs and champion of the bubble. SB Nation, what do you say? Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors will meet again. Okay, well I disagree with that second part, or the first part, but I agree with the second part. I'm going Raptors.
Yeah,
I think it's the Raptors.
This is my video. I will not be outvoted on my own video.
Yeah, no.
You brought me as a special guest, man.
I don't give a damn that you're the special guest. You're the special guest because Matt doesn't know anything, which makes it 1-1.
No.
Yes.
Wait, if it's 1-1,
I am worth at least half a point.
No.
Why not count?
You're 4.
Why am I here?
No, you're 4/10 of a point, but that doesn't round up. That rounds down. Oh, he left. He left.
You back?
Yeah, he's back. Here's.
Listen, I may not, be saying the most informed things, like, I think the Nets win a game, but like, I don't think I've been that out of my depth. So
I will say Raptors in 7, but I am performing the rest of the video under protest.
Or you can put a disclaimer in the description, man. Just put it.
We can leave Bucks and Bucks/Raptors, and we can talk about both matchups. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, why don't we just do that? Because I'm willing to. I'm going out on a limb. I genuinely think the Bucks are. I just don't think the Raptors have what it takes. And I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely do, because.
God dang. Okay.
I just think that when it comes down to it, Game 7, 5 seconds on the clock, you need somebody to hit that shot. That was Kawhi Leonard. That was his role. That was what he did for that team. That team played so cohesive last year, just like they're playing this year. But when it was that time against the Sixers, they needed somebody to step up, hit that shot. It was Kawhi Leonard, and they don't have that this year.
Fed Van. Fred VanVleet.
Oh, get the fuck. No. You are not. No. You are not going to sit here and compare Fred VanVleet to Kawhi Leonard.
Oh man, dude, I just wanted to see his like reaction.
No. We're
That
not
was-
letting that
That-
fly.
that's like
Gonna be-
that's like threads of like Alex Rodriguez calling, comparing Aaron Judge to like Michael Jordan. That's where.
This is no. We're not. No. You have
Alright,
not said
alright.
anything that I have this strongly agreed with yet, but no. We're not going to sit here and compare Fred VanVleet to Kawhi Leonard. No.
Yo, come on, man.
I don't care. No. We're not doing it. And we know such comparisons on this channel.
All right, so Raptors is zone.
No, we can compare both. I like Matt's idea of comparing both matchups.
Fine. All right.
Because we have
Alright.
the right opinion and your opinion, so it's fine.
If the Bucks win this series, I want both of you to apologize. That's all I'm saying.
We have a difference of opinion. It's fine.
It's fine. That's fine. We'll move
Anyways,
on.
Lakers Clippers, which
alright?
is where we were supposed to be.
All right.
I
Well-
think that this is going to be honestly. You're looking at the big two, right? It's LeBron and it's LeBron and Anthony Davis versus Kawhi and Paul George. That is what this is going to come down to. I think those are going to be the difference makers. I think depth-wise, Kyle Kuzma has stepped up huge for the Lakers in the bubble. There was a couple of games where he just genuinely took over and he looked like he could be that guy. But you've also got the depth on the Clippers. I don't even need to talk about a lot of it. I mean, they added Reggie Jackson. They've obviously Marcus Morris played well today. Patrick Beverley has his place as and Montrezl Harrell, obviously. I mean, you got all those guys. Lou Will, I didn't even talk about. So you have all those guys, and then the Lakers roster. I mean, I don't feel like reading off the roster, but I think both teams are deep. But I think that the Clippers might win in depth. I'm not gonna lie. I do think the Clippers are slightly
Yes.
deeper.
Yes, 100%. They're lacking Avery Bradley. The Lakers are lacking Avery Bradley, who is a key role player when it comes to defending people like, at least,
Paul George.
I would say Lou Will.
We will Paul
Like,
George.
Lou Will. Yeah, Lou and Paul George. Right? So, now...
He's a
on
little
paper-
short to defend Paul George, but if he gets switched on it, you're not terribly pissed about it.
Yeah. So, like, my... At least I have so much bias towards the Lakers. I want the Lakers to get through.
Yeah.
On paper, I have to go Clippers. It's such a sad thing to say.
I
I'm
think
going
I think
Clippers
on
with this.
paper, yes, but
It entirely depends on. Listen, this will be decided by the top two. And, with who's been playing better, I feel like, from the bubble, I feel like, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George is easy. Like, who's been playing better in the bubble, but, like, you don't want to. I don't like going against.
it's
LeBron
it's a
James.
dangerous game to bet against LeBron James in the
Yeah.
playoffs. That's all I'm gonna say. It is a dangerous game to bet against LeBron
I
James in the
know.
playoffs.
I know.
Um,
I'm a LeBron fan, and it's not looking good for me. So
All I'm gonna
might as well
say
just go
is
for Clippers.
this sounds very familiar to a conversation that I had back in 2017
And what
when
happened then?
I was talking to my friend Lenny, and it was the Lakers had not the Lakers, excuse me, the Cavaliers had just snuck past the Pacers in round one. There was no Kyrie, and it was LeBron James alone trying to carry this ragtag group of older players, and he's like, nah, I've got Raptors in 4, like there's no way, and I literally laughed at him, and I said, you really think LeBron is gonna get swept? He's like, yeah, there's no way, like there's just not enough players around him, and everybody was saying it's like the Raptors series to lose, it's the Raptors series to lose, like people were picking, even after they were down 2-0, like Raptors in 6, and they got swept because LeBron was just on a different kind of mission. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be able to do that against the Clippers because obviously that Clippers team, this Clippers team and that Raptors team are not the same, but I'm just saying it is a dangerous, dangerous game to bet against LeBron James.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm proud of
Okay.
you finding a new LeBron rant, like a new LeBron angle. I haven't heard that one before.
I've got a bunch in the tank. It's just easy to use the same ones over and over again.
Yes, I know.
Proud
of you.
Thank you.
There you go.
I don't know. I think on
Um,
paper the Clippers are the better team, but I think they split their matchups this season, didn't they?
They did. I
Yeah.
can double check that for you, but they did.
Yeah, so I mean they split their matchups, and obviously one of them was in the bubble. What
They're 5-3.
do you mean they're 5? Oh, I
What do you mean by like explaining matchups?
like the Lakers Clippers when they played like just those two teams playing each other.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
whole
they-
season,
yeah,
they
they
the
split.
Clippers won 2, the Lakers won 2. Obviously the
Yes.
Lakers won 1 in the bubble when they didn't have Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell, but LeBron didn't play well that game. I think it could go either way. Genuinely think it could go either way. I definitely think on paper the Lakers are a little bit depth-wise not there, but I also think that if you look at it in it's funny to say in a bubble, but in a vacuum, right? They're like the Lakers top 2 versus the Clippers top 2.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers have the better top 2 and the Clippers have the better depth. So it really comes down to what do you think is gonna be the difference maker in this series? Do you think that the top 2 is gonna be able to just put their team and carry the team over the edge, or do you think that that depth, those role players' ability to step up is gonna be the make or break moment?
Well, historically, we've seen that depth is a very strong force recently, like as with the Spurs, Raptors as of recently. But obviously, the depth has to be led by like 1 or 2 people. So, you know,
I also
It's tough.
I also think that defensively the Lakers are a different animal than the Clippers will have faced up to this point. Like if when the Lakers lock in defensively, I think they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. And I don't think the Clippers
So-
will face that on their way to the Lakers in the conference finals. Like I don't think the Nuggets are that defensive team, and I don't think the Mavericks are that defensive team either. So it's going to be a absolute slugfest. I think that there's reason. I think that realistically you can make a solid, sound argument for both teams, and it just comes down to what you value most in a playoff series. Genuinely.
Hey, Dub, I'm going Clippers. I'm going Clippers in 7. I
It's
don't know
so
about you guys. I
it's
don't know about.
here's the thing. I don't want to have
Bro,
to
I'm
sit
a
here.
LeBron fan. I'm a LeBron fan.
So am I. I'm the biggest LeBron fan you will ever meet, which is why this is so hard for me.
I have to go Clippers in 7.
I have
know
personally a
LeBron.
hard time. I refuse to pick against LeBron, personally.
No, you can't go with that. You can't go with it. You gotta go with like, actually like legit like in terms of talent.
I mean that is a legit thing. Like, at the end of the day, I think that okay, so if you want to talk about being able to just like having playmakers off the bench, yeah, the Clippers have better playmakers off the bench, but I do think that the Lakers are a slightly more sound defensive team. I also think that their shooters have the ability to spread the floor in a way that fits that system. I mean, if you look at guys like Danny Green, Quinn Cook, you gotta give them the chance to step outside the arc. Also, I mean, they added J.R. Smith, who really hasn't done a whole lot in the bubble, but you don't even know when he could step up and get hot. You know that earlier they got Dion Waiters, who's a big shot maker. Kyle Kuzma stepped up big in this bubble. Right, so you've got guys that you can trust the ball. You trust that they can shoot. You got Alex Caruso, who's kind of spark off the bench.
Here's the thing, right? If you have LeBron and AD on the floor, and then you have those people there, great, you can do it. Even if you have one of those 2 players on the floor, you can pretty much do your best and be able to compete with them, the Clippers. Once you take those people off, who's gonna be there? It's going to be really tough for them to create offense. Like, yeah, you can trust Quinn Cook, you can trust Alex Caruso, but they're not going to be there to be able to. Like,
I mean, you could say the same thing about when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George come out. Who's running that
they
offense?
have depth. They have more depth.
You're trusting Reggie Jackson. You're trusting Reggie Jackson in a playoff series to run your offense?
No. I'm not trusting Reggie Jackson at all. But like, they got Pat Bev.
Oh, come on. Pat Beverly is defensively one of the most nagging
Reggie
players
Jackson,
in the league.
you're not trusting Mr. October?
Oh, come on. Get please with the baseball references, man. This is a basketball
All right.
video.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I'm saying Clippers. I know Jeremy. He's gonna go for the Lakers.
I almost
gotta
have
go.
to, because as much as I'm a Lakers my LeBron fan, I almost have to.
You can't let go. Of that.
I can't,
So,
but I
yeah.
almost like.
Oh, no. But I don't count, apparently.
You don't count,
Nah.
bitch. Fuck you. No, I mean you count. Here's the thing. You
Outflow.
genuinely.
I count if I agree with it. Yeah,
Okay.
No.
I
Here,
count if I
no.
agree.
You definitely count, right? So here, you guys technically outrank me, right? Because it's Raptors Bucks, right? Do you guys think that the Raptors will win? Technically, yes. I did get outvoted. You guys say the Raptors, but I think that
This is the problem with teams that you could think can go fucking 7 games. Is it can go either way. Is when you're going 7 games, it means that that final game could go either way. Which means at one point, like you were basically saying these teams are almost entirely equal, and I agree. I think the Lakers have the better star power, just straight up front. I feel like they do, but the Clippers play. Also have also excellent star power and have a much better bench. However, the Lakers bench also played a hell of a lot better in the bubble than they have been all season. And the Lakers had when the bubble before the bubble started, before the season ended, they were playing better than them at every turn. And so,
wait, who is playing better than who?
the Lakers are playing better than the Clippers at every turn.
Absolutely, and like I said, they right before.
Obviously, the more recent bubble is going to be fresh on people's minds.
Let's not forget the fact that this Lakers team did just beat the Clippers team at full strength before the bubble started. Let's not forget that happened.
Yeah, exactly. And so, because of that, I feel like because of just how bad AD looked, and because of just like how lackluster, like every top team looked at points, especially like the Bucks and the Lakers looked horrible at points.
Yeah, they did, but I also think that they weren't.
Exactly.
They weren't in that mode.
So,
I think that what's lacking here, or what we're missing, is we just saw the Clippers play today against the Mavericks, and they played fairly well, and we haven't seen the Lakers play yet. What I'm gonna say is let's not. The reason why I will not, and so you wanted a legit argument, not just you can't get bet against LeBron. Here it is, right? We just watched the Lakers full strength against the Clippers full strength beat them. Right now, obviously they have Avery Bradley. They're gonna be missing Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley had a great game
in the regular season, and they did it in the bubble, and so because of that, I'm going with the Lakers. But once again, in 7.
Absolutely.
Damn.
That's where I'm going. Because now here's the thing, they are missing Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley went off for 24 that game that they beat against the Clippers before the bubble started.
That's true.
So they're going to be missing him. That's a big loss. Absolutely, that's a big loss. But you also had somebody like Kyle Kuzma. Everybody kept looking at Kyle Kuzma like, when is he going to step up? When is he going to be that third guy?
Kyle Kuzma was like a complete fucking joke at some point this season when he started trashing LeBron while he was playing like shit.
Yeah, and then you know what he did? There was moments when it looked like he absolutely put the team on his back in the bubble. Like
Right.
there was a couple games in there, especially against the Rockets, when the offense was kind of stalling out and they really looked like they didn't really know what they were gonna do. You put the ball in Kyle Kuzma's hands and he was just making shit happen. I don't know how else to put it. He was just making shit happen that night. He was, if he can continue to play like that, I think the Lakers have a legitimate chance to win it all. That's my opinion. I am gonna put, just for sake of consistency, we'll make it really quick. For sake of consistency, I almost want to put Lakers slash Clippers.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it is, and I want to get out of here. So what I'm gonna do is, for sake of consistency, we'll put both in 6, and we'll just breeze through this because I do think that, in my opinion, I don't think. Do you guys disagree with me? I don't think that either one of these teams
Oh no, they're
takes
screwed.
either one of these
They're
teams in a
100%
7-game series. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I think the West is. I think that I think it'll be a fun series, but I think either West team beats either East team.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna say Lakers slash Clippers.
Well, now we have to pick one winner. I refuse to have like mixed winners. That's the thing. So I guess we are gonna have to sit here and we're gonna have to hash out this Lakers Clippers dilemma. But can we at least agree that whoever comes out of the West wins? Can we agree with that?
Yes. You can circle the Western thing.
Actually, I think what I'm actually might do. I mean, if we don't, we're not gonna reach a solid conclusion on this. I could just do this realistically and say 6 games. I think that is a 6-game series. Anybody just strongly disagree? Think it's gonna be 7-5?
No, I think that's
I'm gonna
fair.
say 6.
Yeah.
6.
So I mean I don't think I think that the West is just got a different, just that second level, and I think that both the Lakers and the Clippers match up well against either the Raptors or the Bucks. I think that for the Bucks, both teams have the size to match up against Giannis, and I think for the Raptors, They're just both very cohesive defensive units, which is what's going to be, I think, the undoing of the Raptors, is that they play so well together. They need everybody involved. If you have a solid, cohesive defensive unit, that's going to be a problem for the Raptors.
That's true.
But I think that you can make, like, we could sit here and talk for another 3 hours and never come to a solid conclusion on if we think the Lakers or the Clippers is a better team. And
Oh,
for
yeah.
sake of,
No,
for
I
sake
can
of
go back and forth,
consistency,
dude.
for sake of consistency, I don't want to say, oh well, Matt agreed with me, so I'm going to just put the Lakers. For sake of consistency, I'm going to say whoever wins the West wins it all, and it's going to either be the Lakers or the Clippers.
Listen, now here's the undisputable fact that's actually going to put this all on all on its head. My dad's a Lakers fan, so Lakers. That's why. That's the final.
Oh,
that's the
Oh,
final
here we
say.
go. Hey.
But no,
I appreciate it though. I want the Lakers to win.
No, I want the Lakers to win.
So
Don't get
bad.
me wrong. Like, I think there's legitimate arguments for the Lakers to win it all. But like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The personal bias towards the Lakers is definitely,
There, it's
also
there.
is there.
Yeah, the story is also there. Like, 35, what is it, 16th, 17th season in the league? Like,
And no, come on. You've looked at you can't, come on.
I'm not. I'm
Every
just.
fucking-
Listen,
every
no,
time
I'm
you're
not going
getting-
down. No,
every
no, no,
game
no,
he
no, no, no,
plays,
no, no. I
year
wasn't going down.
17.
I'm just
No, it's year
saying.
17. No, I'm saying it's year 17. Come on.
Okay, I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm just saying the story is written for both teams. Realistically, I mean, look, Kawhi would be I think one of the first, if not the first, to to be the MVP, because I'm pretty sure if the Clippers win it all, he's going to wind up being MVP of that series. Be the first Finals MVP on two different teams in back-to-back seasons, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, there's storylines all over the place, for these Western teams, but I don't know. I think that I think either one of those Eastern teams doesn't match up well against either one of those Western teams, and I think that we may as well just kind of call it a night and say that it's going to be either whoever comes out of the West in 6 games, because I don't think that we're ever going to come to a solid conclusion of who's the better team overall, Lakers Clippers. I think you can make very, very solid cohesive arguments for both.
Yeah, man, I could debate all night.
Absolutely.
But for the sake of everyone here, I think we'll leave it at the West winning it all. I think that's
Yeah, I think
think
that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It is kind of a cop out, but I don't give a fuck. We're calling it a
I'm
night.
sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, like that is it is what it is.
It's just how it happens.
It is what it is.
It
It
is
is
what it is.
Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
it's just
Yes, sir.
that happened. The 20 people watching, the five people watching
Yeah,
this. well,
20 is a bold statement there, my guy.
Shout out.
Hey, listen, we
shout
ha-
out
we-
6 subscribers.
you
Shout
know,
out.
the like handful of people who watch this and actually make it to the end, if any, like, I'm sure you will get angry comments. You phone this in. What kind of sports commentators are you? Wait. Huh. I guess we didn't look at the channel, did we? Oh, damn.
Anyways,
Anyway,
I
yeah.
think that'll be it for us for tonight. I think that we're not gonna get to a solid conclusion. The West,
No.
whoever comes out of the West wins it all.
By the time we did, it would be tomorrow, and I have training in the morning, and I really want to go to bed.
That's very valid.
Yeah.
All right. So with all that being said, again, in the description down below will be the highlight video that was playing in the beginning. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, down in our description, join our Discord. We are a lot more active on there than we are on our other social medias that are linked down there, Instagram and Twitter. We don't really use them that much. We haven't figured out exactly what we want to do with them, but make sure to come on over to the Discord and say what's up. We will definitely be as responsive as we can be. Matt, are you going to be doing a baseball check-in video at some point?
Yeah, I'm debating if I want to do it at the end of this week or the end of next week. It really depends on what my schedule looks like.
Well, either way,
Because
you
for-
can look
first
forward
week-
to that.
I'm thinking probably this week because it'll be still this week, and I'll probably have time. It also depends on what my duty schedule looks like. So if I have to work a weekend, absolutely not.
Valid. All right. Well, keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, I think that will be it for us for tonight. Again, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Peace.